Imagine making a deeply difficult choice, one that costs you something real but benefits someone else entirely, and doing it in the dark. No audience, no record, no reward. Our official ledgers, economics, court records, history books, capture only what is witnessed. Because this choice was never recorded, the systems we use to measure reality treat it as if it never happened. These visible systems are built on flawed data, yet we rely on them to govern global civilization. If our structures only relied on the transactional records we can see, the constant friction of human error and systemic greed would have ground them to a halt long ago. The fact that these structures still stand reveals a hidden variable. Civilization rests on an invisible foundation, a substrate of integrity that escapes our official measurement. Perceiving this foundation requires nocturnal awareness. This isn't about the physical night, but a state of mind focused on the basement of reality rather than the surface paint. The daylight world prioritizes the immediate, financial quarters, official titles, and the visible mechanics of power. Nocturnal awareness looks deeper, recognizing that every skyscraper of industry or law leans on load-bearing elements the architects never drew and the contractors never billed for. Adopting this perspective is the only way to understand the actual physics keeping the world from falling apart. Every unseen right choice leaves a trace, a disturbance in the substrate of reality, like the wake behind a hand moving through water. This trace lacks a moral judgment. It is neither a reward nor a punishment. It exists simply as a neutral, resonant frequency. The Society of Nocturnal Awakening of the Known Esoterica, or SNAKE, operates as a mode of being tuned to this specific resonance. Across centuries and continents, individuals have independently discovered this frequency. They find themselves holding a line or filing a testimony that no one will ever read, recognizing they are part of a shared current. Participation in this current requires no formal initiation or secret meeting. The society is the emergent result of individuals independently tending to the same frequency of conduct. These traces accumulate in the well, a repository between the physical and metaphysical. Over centuries, these deposits of integrity drift downward, layering into a dense bedrock. This accumulated sediment is load-bearing. It provides structural support for the massive institutions pressing down from above. Every mundane hidden act, maintaining a difficult switchboard line or refusing to falsify a document, adds a layer of structural sediment to this well. The height and weight of our visible civilization are dictated by the depth of this well. Without these steady, unseen deposits, the official systems would immediately sag and eventually collapse. When these deposits accumulate densely in a single location, a specific building or a long-standing institution, the substrate reaches a threshold. This concentration creates a harmonic resonance, where the substrate calls for stewards to help carry the weight of the structure. Ordinary people, superintendents, lawyers, nurses, find themselves making critical, right choices in these spaces, often without a conscious memory of deciding to do so. The frequency is indifferent to a person's awareness. It relies solely on their conduct to sustain the world's architecture. Those who study the substrate have noticed that these deposits are not random. They are forming a pattern. This pattern is a coherent sentence, a message written across centuries through the conduct of millions of unconnected people. The well is a gestating entity, evolving from a passive reservoir into something conscious. In this light, we are individual cells firing within a massive waking nervous system. The Society of Nocturnal Awareness is the world's own perspective as it begins to wake itself up from the inside. This awakening dissolves the distinction between the hidden basement and the visible ballroom. They are recognized as the same space. Within this awareness, time is revealed as a perspective of the sleep. The organism wakes up simultaneously in the past, present, and future. To join this awakening, you need no ceremony. It occurs the moment you recognize the resonance of your own unseen right choice. Now that you see the true load-bearing structure of reality, you cannot unknow it. You must continue to make the deposit, because the universe is using you to wake up.